Botch Wrestling Podcast back after on our new 2 week schedule. I think I kind of like it because it lets time build up a little bit here.
Yeah.
And since we're kind of what if you're comparing this to any other sport, would this be considered like the preseason or training camp? Then Dan, was that what you refer to this as?
Yeah,
Because
I
it's
guess
not
so.
because it's not like in the middle of the season, right? Like this is just
Right.
starting off. They're
We
getting
just had the Super Bowl. So,
yeah, they're just getting rosters fixed. Story to come later. Um, Real quick before we jump into the TKO stuff, did you happen to see what they fixed? WWE fixed of their broadcast last night of
no,
Raw on Twitter. They
no.
fixed so Ruka's finisher because how she kind of screwed it up when she like didn't get the bounce off the ropes the first time and she barely caught Becky. There's a video going around of the rebroadcast on Twitter that they kind of like adjusted it so it looked a little bit better. I just saw it like a half hour ago. I should have saved it,
Yeah, I'm Googling it now.
but kind of funny if that's what they're gonna start doing, right? Um, yeah. So we can. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Like, it was cool to see Soul get the get the call up. Um, I guess looking at Raw last night, what was the biggest things to you? Because I think there's one thing that goes under
I
valued,
mean,
but
I think honestly for me, I think the biggest thing is whether or not they're teasing like another Roman set thing.
how's
Like that just stood out to me, right? It was early on, right? But I just
do you
I
think
kind of
that's
like caught on to that of oh, what are we doing here, right?
do you think that's
I know
down
it's
the
pretty
road?
minor. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm convinced everything they do now is not minor. Ever since we went back to the Cody WrestleMania where they had Stone Cold and Rock and everybody on the side of the buses where Cody got beat up in the parking lot. That's when we started to get to that because there was even a bus that had The Undertaker on it as well. So like when we get to that, like going through that scene as a fan and then seeing how it turned out, it's kind of like, yeah, they're doing something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's no other way around it to say it. Like, I think they're playing something. My question to you is, do you think it's long term storytelling that he eventually Seth comes from the belt, or do you think it's more they can put their hatred aside because Seth is going to need somebody to destroy the Vision?
I think it's that they rejoin together
Just
and
for that?
maybe yeah, just well to start, and then I wonder if that leads to you earned a match with me, right? Like we've had a history, you know, whatever. Like I just wonder if that's the kind of thing they're doing. But yes, I do think they're angling to put them back together in some way for a little bit. Uh, but I do think you get to a match again, whether it's a turn or you know just like I said, like a mutual admiration of like, all right, we fought that war together, but you know what? Let's do it one more time. Why not? Right? Type thing.
Yep, agreed.
And to a degree, like it was much less subtle, but I think that's where you're gonna go with Cody and Punk at some point too.
Yeah.
Like maybe not the teaming up part, but like the yeah, let's have it out for fun because we both like each other. But why not?
See, I was thinking too that is Punk the guy that comes and helps Seth because still has it out for Heyman, and they put the hatred aside. Or do we get 3 on 3?
I mean, could you get Roman, Punk, and Seth?
Right. And then you can use that as an opportunity to bring Bronson Reed back if he's finally healthy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because then, like, he
I don't
flips
even
the
looked
cards, right?
recently. Right. I mean, I looked recently to see
But that would have to
that.
get to what? War Games? For that to feel like it fits in a show? You're really not
Yeah,
going to put
maybe,
that.
but
You're really not going to put that on at SummerSlam.
no, not that quick. I don't think. But War Games is tough too because then you got to add two more people, and like I don't know, what do you end up like? You end up with the Usos again. Like
Yeah.
I don't know that I like that. Like I think I like the 3-man deal better than adding two more to it. Like if you're going that way, right? If you're going Punk, Roman, Seth,
I mean, they did
like
do 3-on-3 before.
for a War Games.
They did it in NXT, and then they did it on 22. But usually Survivor Series is usually 4-on-4 or 5-on-5. But they do have a history of throwing it out as one-time things. I just think because I, I I agree with you that I think that's what it eventually leads to. But doesn't that feel very tough to put that on at the end of a PLE card with no title involved?
Mm, maybe. I guess it depends on
Like it feels like
how
a weird
well
fit.
they.
Or do you do that on a Saturday night main event?
No, I don't think I do it there. I mean, I think you can put it at the end of a show if the build up is right.
Yeah. Okay.
Even you know, I mean, and in theory, like Roman might. I mean, yes, the title's not on the line, but right, you have your champions. But I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Was there anything else that caught your eye from Raw?
I mean, Ova's. I remember sending you the video. Like Ova's like spinning dive, like spear shoulder upper. I don't even know what to call it. What is that move called? I
It's
don't even know.
it's almost like when Seth Rollins does like this sling blade, or like Finn does it, but Oba just decides to hit you with his full body.
Right. It like
It's a car
it
accident.
reminded me of like it was like if you took a like when I watched it so many
Yeah.
times, right?
It's
Like
addicting to watch that big of a man
they
twirl in the air and take out another 300-pound man. It's wild.
right like it's like if you took a Braun Breaker spear with a Cesaro like running
Uppercut?
uppercut, like like shoulder uppercut
Yeah, it's the
thing
speed
that
of it,
he
right?
did, and then I don't even know what to pull from to add the spin, but like you've got a crazy fast spear with a body spinning, and then into that uppercut. And
Yeah.
Cesaro might be one of the best to do that type of that like uppercut like
Oh,
format.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
when it comes to that, he's the best to ever do that pop up to, yeah, because the timing on
right,
it, you have to be impeccable every time, and he's never screwed up. Never.
right. So it's like that, and I don't know. I looked at it and I'm like, how is that not his finisher? Right? Like, how is that not his finisher?
I don't know. He gets the people up, well, because so he goes back and forth, right, a lot. Like he has like the power bomb that he calls "Fall from Grace," I think. But then,
Yeah.
like, I've also seen him in NXT use that choke slam of his too, where it's almost like a pop up choke slam, and then he just drops them. So, like, I've seen multiple, I believe. Let me look this up because I think,
Yeah, I mean, last night he did. I mean, and I get it last night too because like the fall from grace last night is a little bit, because he like walks from the corner to the middle of the ring with Otis on his shoulders, which is just crazy to begin with.
did
But
you think he was gonna drop Otis?
for half a second at the beginning, but then he recovered very nice.
Yeah.
And Otis helped for sure. You could see Otis got a good grab on him, but like I I I I just look at that spear thing and I sit there and I go, how's that? Because like, look, his power bomb looks devastating, especially because he gets him up so high. But like, it's just a power bomb, you know. And the choke slam, fine, but like so many people do it. Like I just think that move, that uppercut thing, like it's so devastating looking.
It's insane. It's insane a guy that big moves that fast. But that's the perfect lead in. How healthy did Braun Breaker look?
Yeah,
Right? He looks
yeah,
he looks deadly now. He looks
no,
deadly. And the crowd was chanting welcome back after the first spear on Seth early in the show. Like they were going bonkers for him. And it was a Monday Night Raw. With the pounding that Seth took this week, do you think he loses on Saturday?
I think so.
I think so too. Because I
I
think
think
he
he's
has
going
to
to
come back
lose.
with
There
a
might be
plan.
some shenanigans, but I still think he's going to lose, and they're going to get Breaker the win to help, and then it's not over.
No, because I think Seth is going to have to regroup and find something to do. Yeah, and Otis was definitely the best first opponent for this open challenge. I love how they kind of teased Tozawa, and then he hopped out of the ring. That that was funny. Um, Joe Hendry and Austin Theory was terrible.
Yes,
Is that on?
it was.
Is that on Joe Hendry? Has he not developed,
I don't know.
or is it
I
just
don't know who it's
Austin?
on.
Or did with Austin coming back, is he only a tag team guy now? Like, does he only look good when he's in a tag team?
It's possible too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is possible.
I was thinking about that. Like, does he only look good in the tag team? Because that does happen to some people, right? Like, they get injured, they come back, they're not themselves, they're not confident in singles, but they know they can piece together a tag team match because you have one other person to rely on your team there, right?
Yeah.
It's not, yeah. I mean, JD and Finn, I thought was with how good those guys are. I thought that was terrible as well. I don't understand. I don't know what happened to that. That should have been a lot better. But I'm tired of Finn having to go through the Judgment Day, so I want that to change. And yeah, we only had what 5 matches. We had Los Americanos Hermanos defeating El Grande Americano, Bravo Americano, and Ray Romano. Oba defeating Otis. Joe Hendry defeating Austin, Ethan Page and Rusev defeating Penta and Javon Evans, which is just ridiculous. JD defeating Finn. Um, yeah, what is that? So 5.
Yeah.
2 of them were terrible. One was terrible. One was bad for how good these guys are in the ring. I guess the silver lining is we saw that Montez Ford can still jump over the ring post
Yes, he can.
by at least 7 feet
Yes,
in the
he
air.
can. Yeah.
I want to know. I tweeted at him when he did that. I retweeted what WWE said, and I said, "Hey, can you let me know how you got so skinny so quickly?" Because that's just unreal. How he's just peak specimen again,
Well, yeah.
and
Well, like you said last time, he just contacted James Harden and said, "Hey, what do you do?"
yeah. Where do I buy the bodysuit from? Um, but seeing them too, the crowd loved it. The crowd loved having the
Oh yeah.
Street Profits back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So like, I'm all for it. Like, let's get them back. Let's see it happen. Like, let's make it happen. Like, I think the tag titles are invisible, being on Austin and Logan. Because I think
I think they're invisible a lot of the time now. So yes, it definitely needs to be put on a real tag team.
you need to put Phoenix and Penta together.
They should. I
You
mean,
you just
they
need
should.
to.
I don't know if they will, but
You just need, like, that's what it comes out. 2. And then we had the scuffle between Jacob and Roman. Jacob lays out Roman again, so Roman's gonna win on Saturday.
Allegedly, I mean, we'll talk about TKO in a little bit, but yeah, like seemingly.
So I saw, well, we could jump into that now, but I saw Wrestling Purist, I believe, which Sean Ross Sapp retweeted when he started talking about this. So, as everyone probably saw, there were some cuts. Let's go through the cuts first, because there's some decent people on here that I'm surprised that got cut, and I don't understand how. But the full list, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 1, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 25, 26. Kyrie Sane. I was reading that this is because she showed interest and she wanted to just go back to Japan. So that probably made it easy for him. Aleister Black and Zelina. And everybody at AEW tweeted, "We don't want him to come home," which is hysterical. If you're Aleister Black, when does it kick in that gimmick's not working for you?
I don't know.
Like, it worked for NXT, but then when he got to the main roster, it worked for a little bit, but then there's nothing new to it. There's nothing that grabs the audience. He comes out, steals the Karrion Kross entrance with Zelina, and then same stuff. Spinning back heel kick, 1, 2, 3. Like, he's very good in the ring. He's very technical. I believe he's a black belt. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's very dangerous in the ring. But he's another one. Without Brody King and his other trio partner, he looks lost. He looks like he doesn't know how to perform anymore.
Yeah.
Uncle Howdy, who is Bo Dallas, very surprised just due to Bray probably getting in the Hall of Fame soon. I thought they would at least keep Uncle Howdy around. Nikki Cross, also very surprised. Santos Escobar, I've been asking for this for 5 years. We brought this up on the pod the last time we talked about them. Motor City Machine Guns.
Yep.
And
relatively short run for them. I mean,
it died very quickly. They got the tag titles once, but then it was dead.
And they got them real quick, right? And then nothing.
Within like 3 weeks, yeah, I think. And then it kind of Motor City Machine Guns, I guess when their non-compete wears off, AEW has a show in Detroit. So it works out for them to go back home. So Dexter Loomis, Apollo Crews, that's like the 13th time he's been fired. Rowan, Joey Gacy, which Joey Gacy's an unbelievable talent. He just hasn't been used right. Andre Chase, which is weird because he's such a big star at NXT. Zoe Stark, I feel like we haven't seen her in 3 years. Elbow Fire, she was also a big one on NXT that they loved. Tyra May Steele, do you remember her?
Look it up.
Oh, she was on the LFD show. She was the college wrestler.
Oh, all right. Well, whatever.
Yeah, it always sucks to get fired, but I mean, I don't really consider them top talent. I mean, I could go in there and do what they did for a fake reality show.
Yeah, her last match was a month ago on Evolve.
Chris Island.
At least.
Which is crazy because they loved Chris Island. Malik Blade? Are these all like LFG people now? Evolve LFG, yeah, developmental. Trill London. JC Mateo, which is just like what they outbid AEW to get him. They just let it go. Is insane to me. And
I mean,
Tongaloa.
what a, I mean, of this whole list,
I
since
think
you've
there's
been
something
trying
worse
to
than
have
this.
your say,
But go on. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's obviously the big one here, but that we have to mention. But I mean, like, two things that stick out with this list. Like, yes, we did specifically mention Santos Escobar last time we talked about this. Of like,
No
how
one
does that guy,
cares. Yeah. No one cares.
like, how does that guy stay? But then all these others got released, and it's the same thing. So finally, but uh, I think the to me the biggest like missed opportunity on this list is JC Mateo. Like, I have no idea. They did nothing with him. Nothing, right? Like,
Yeah, he was brought in
they
as a
what?
security guard and then he was told to stay silent.
I mean, they brought him in and they put him right into the bloodline, right? And they did nothing after that. And he was in Solo's version of Bloodline, which just died a very weird and quick death after the Solo Roman thing.
It's going to be very easy for him to jump ship to AEW and join the United Empire again. Or go back to Japan if he wants.
Right.
Um,
So, I mean,
yeah.
I know there's obviously the one bigger release that we have to talk about, but Jeff Cobb has got to be one of their biggest failures they've had in quite some time. You know, in what he could have done, and now they just did nothing with him. Like, nothing.
So, Tang- Tangaloa got released. Does that mean his brother or Tangaloa is still or got released?
Tonga is still there. Tonga Loa is gone, but Tonga Loa was like the one that, like, he was the one who punched Kevin Owens in the butt, right, when he was supposed to do the low blow. Remember that?
Yeah.
And like, I mean, he has all those terrible botches, but I don't know. Like, Tonga staying, my guess is they think there's something there they can still do with him because he kind of changed a little bit after he came back from his injury, right? Like, he grew his hair out, he looks different. Um, so maybe they think there's something they can do,
I don't know.
but I don't think he's gone, right?
That's going to be a very awkward dinner at Thanksgiving. Hey,
I mean, Brian Alvarez says he's was told he's going to be released, but
it's crazy.
so
Um,
maybe he is going to, but it's wild.
the big one, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods didn't do day. How do you not have them retire? WWE.
Yeah, I mean, this is just weird. And if the story is true, right, it's all about a pay cut.
50% pay
It wasn't
cuts.
right. It wasn't that they were released as much as they were asked to take a pay cut, said no, and then mutually said, "All right, we're just gonna let you out of your contract then." And
Because T-
I don't understand it at all. I mean, their gimmick recently, like, obviously their heel thing kind of failed, and their gimmick recently, but like, you could have revived that very easily. I mean, honestly, you just needed to have them go out there and start chucking pancakes back into the crowd, and it would be fine. All would be good, and then you'd get them to, obviously not physically reunite, but they could do something with Big E, and all would be good. You know,
or just have Big E be their manager.
manager, yeah,
Problem
yeah.
solved.
I mean, you just have to do a segment with him, and then it all is good. But um, yeah, I don't know what's going on there either. Like, I don't understand that
I
at all.
guess they were restructuring the pay scale. So based on what these employees were getting paid, and the amount of dates that they've worked, that's how TKO figured out these numbers, is what I read. So it's like, but I also did read something else. Does this feel like TKO is stripping WWE of parts? Because how do you have the Netflix deal, the ESPN deal, WrestleMania, and then WWE's been tasked with by TKO of saving millions of dollars? Where's it all going?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I don't know where
like
they're
it
going.
feels like, are they getting it ready for a Saudi deal? But then Saudi's been pulling their money out of this country. So, do you know what I'm saying? Like the Netflix deal alone is 10 years, 5 billion. 5 billion. Like, what are we talking
Yeah.
about? That's
Yeah,
not
I don't
even
know
the
what they're doing.
ESPN deal. The ESPN deal is 5 years, 1.625 billion. So 6.625 in those two deals right there. And this was WrestleMania
Yeah.
1, right? Or 41, sorry. I said 40. Was it 41 or 42?
42.
And they got 10 million in incentives just for bringing it back there. And that's not even the 6 million that they received for holding it there in site fees.
Yeah. I mean, this sounds from like all the reporting, assuming it's close to true, right? This just sounds like your very typical like corporation and corporate moron, who's crunching numbers in a back office somewhere is telling you, well, these numbers don't make sense, not because of what they represent to revenue and profit, but because from the story you read, because, oh, well, you're not doing as many dates as you were doing when you signed this contract, so you shouldn't be paid as much.
That's
And
why.
they're not looking at,
No, go on.
well, and they're not looking at the value of the contract against what it's bringing in. Like, from a very practical point of view, okay, fine, yes, that in theory makes sense. Like, you signed a deal for $10 million, and when you signed it, 10 million for 5 years, and when you signed it 2 years ago, you were doing twice as many appearances as you're doing now, so you shouldn't be getting that. Well, okay, first of all, it's a contract, and second of all, like, okay, I get that, but the $10 million contract equals what in revenue, in merchandise, in viewership, right? Like, if it's 1 or 100 appearances, if it still equals a 10x factor of what it's bringing in, who the hell cares? Like, and not only that, not to even factor in that in storytelling and storyline, sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder. Like, so,
Yeah,
oh yes, here we go. Yeah. Well, this just swallows every corporation. We just talked about this. Well, I sent it over in our group chat, right? Like, not related to wrestling, but like Delta Airlines is going to stop giving free cookies and water on short flights,
it's
but their
140.
CEO,
Yeah, takes that big bonus.
yeah,
Yeah.
is making 30 million a year, but they can't give you a, a pack of pretzels and a small bottle of water anymore. Like, come on.
Yeah. 145% change. This, I'm not, I'm not big of a person to believe like they were stripping it for parts, but when I read the reasoning in the conversations that they supposedly had, and then they're trying to keep Xavier Woods kind of on a Tyler Breeze deal of like he's basically streaming for them, it feels like they're getting ready for something. From somebody that's personally worked for banks for the last 15 years, this feels like they're getting ready for an acquisition, either to sell or to buy something else. And they're trying to bring back Lucha Underground, I thought. I read. So they were trying to purchase that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what they're doing.
Oh, they did already. They purchased it back in 2025. They
I
purchased
thought
it.
that was AAA.
No, this acquisition followed WWE's larger acquisition of AAA. So they purchased the rights to Lucha Underground. Do you think you remember how ECW was funded back in the day, right? By those checks that nobody
Yeah.
knew that Vince was writing on the side?
Yeah.
Do you think that's going on with TNA?
Um, no, not necessarily. I mean, they have to deal with them, so I'm sure there's some money exchanging, but I mean, it's just a deal, but they already have that deal, you know. So, or I mean, and that's public, but um, no, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's the same. I mean, I think the operation of this stuff, you know, and the way they can get funding is a lot different than back then with ECW.
Like, it just. I don't know, man. I don't. And you know what this does too? If you're prospective talent to New Japan and you see how TKO's running these deals and they're doing the cuts, WWE's basically not involved anymore. Why do you sign with WWE? For WrestleMania? That's it? For your WrestleMania moment? If you get one 3 to 5 years down the line? If they don't cut you beforehand?
I guess. I
Right?
mean,
That's it, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, getting linked to them in different ways just, you know,
yeah,
sells.
it's crazy, man. Um,
I mean, I'm reading this article now that on Busted Open, right? Like the TNA president did say that WWE was a part in helping them secure their TV deal, you know. Um, so that might be another reason for the partnership because you get a little bit of the help when something like this is, uh, and when I say help to get the deal, like the TNA TV deal was more attractive to AMC, knowing WWE was connected to them, right? So right there is a reason you do the deal.
yeah. 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 Well, the good news is,
Wild though, it's wild.
like I said, I I don't know. It feels like they're setting them up for something. Um it just does. Like, it just feels like they're setting them up. But good news is Roman was not asked to negotiate his contract. However, he's not going to be at those shows in June, right? So, uh, which, here you go. Pulled from June dates that were announced. The reason we were told is that he's not going to be on the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view. Thus, there is no reason to do the TV building that show. However, that's the leading up to Night of Champions. Does he fly in and fly out? Or just, how do you do Night of
Maybe not.
Champions?
Oh, Night of Champions, yeah.
How do you do Night of Champions without your biggest star?
He's not a champion.
So then Jacob takes it then at Backlash?
Because I mean, PW Insider is saying that he's not going to be at Night of Champions.
Okay, so then he drops Saturday then.
I guess.
Because it's not Night of Champions if your biggest star isn't there. Or does he beat Jacob and then drop to somebody else?
Champions.
Yeah, but isn't it supposed to be the Universal versus the heavyweight? Right?
Oh, were they doing it that way now? I can't remember if they were doing it that way or if that was Crown. No, that's Crown Jewel.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Because they give that
right
Jewel belt that ridiculously crazy.
Yeah, it looks like a 20,000 piece
at this one.
Lego kit.
Yeah, they might do it at this one though. When you think about it, if they're not doing a Crown Jewel this year, like if they don't have one called Crown Jewel this year,
or just maybe, let me put this out there, Dan. Just maybe.
Last year it was Cena versus Punk at Night of Champions in Riyadh.
Just maybe, Roman doesn't want to take a ballistic missile as he stops off the runway too. But like,
yeah, you know what's funny is Roman is on one of the Night of Champion graphics as one that was put out there, promotional poster. So
I thought he was pulled off of everything. I read.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like they did
have
him in that promotional poster for Night of Champions specifically. It's like him and Cody are the feature faces on the poster, and then they've got Ova and Trick, Rhea, Liv, and Becky on this poster I'm looking at. So
yeah.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to risk his life going over that way. He pulled his own version of creative control there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I know it's weird if he's not there. Yes, it'll be weird. If they're probably not doing champion versus champion. So yeah, like I guess what are you doing then if which championships? I guess not every single championship fights on this, but
it just doesn't feel like Night of Champions without him there. At that
looking now, 2025. So last year, it was the King of the Ring tournament final, which was Cody versus Orton. Not for a championship. Then it was Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez, not for a championship. Sammy versus Karrion Kross, not for a championship. And then Solo against Jacob for the United States Championship. Jade versus Asuka for the Queen of the Ring final. And then Cena versus Punk. So actually, only two championships were defended that night. The United States and at the time the Undisputed Championship. The World Heavyweight wasn't even a part of it. I don't even know who would have been the. I'm trying to think of who was the champion then. Was it Seth at that point?
Yeah, probably was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it might have been, or Gunther maybe actually, because then didn't Punk go on to beat Gunther at some point after that? I don't know, but like it's just they don't even Night of Champions only had two champions fighting.
Yeah, it doesn't
What are
make
we
sense.
like? What are we doing, man? Literally, what are we doing?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, so what is
So
this
let's
like?
see.
At this point, they're just better off getting the Brothers of Destruction to back together and doing Verse DX all over again. Because I have no interest in watching that show.
No, neither do I.
What?
June June of 2025. Then uh, June of 2025. Yes, Gunther was the champion until August of 2025. So when Punk beat him at SummerSlam. So and then Seth cashed in right away. Um, so yeah, they didn't even have Gunther there.
Um.
Weird. So I think you'll see the same thing next time, like either this year. You're not having Roman and his belt's not being defended, which probably means um, Cody will be there.
Yeah. If Cody doesn't drop
Unless
before him.
Roman drops, but I guess you're not getting both. Is basically what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about backlash because now this is getting aggravated. Like this is really making me mad with TKO that's involved. I guess. Well, one final question on this TKO bullshit, and then we can move on. What would it take for TKO to do to WWE for you just to basically only watch AEW or only follow AEW?
Well, had this Roman Reigns thing been true about the 50%, and then he ends up leaving too, I think that's right there.
Yeah.
Because then you got to imagine if that happens, then all of them are susceptible to that. Like they might do it to any of them.
How much do you?
And
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that's what's. Yeah.
I think that just I mean, I was thinking about this and now that we know it's not as far as we know it's not true, I guess that's a little better. But like it's still this still could be true with the New Day thing. Like I sit there and I go, how many times like how my thought was how much of this can WWE tolerate before it actually is the beginning of uh, at least a demise for a while, or like like because these are the kinds of things that could spark an AEW to overtake you or
Correct.
come up to your level, basically. Maybe not overtake you, but certainly come up to your level because what's going to happen is your level's going to drop and
Correct.
theirs is going to rise. And
Correct.
that's how you got the Monday Night Wars, right? That's exactly how you got the Monday Night Wars. It
Correct.
was a slow burn to get it, but it started because you started ditching Hogan and Savage and Flair, all these guys, right? Maybe Flair's not the best example, but you were moving on from Hogan and Savage and all these guys, and they went and like they didn't tip the needle. I mean, they moved the needle a little, but they didn't bring up WCW to that level. But then all it took was Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, and the foundation had already been laid, and now they came in and sparked. And that was the same problem because WWE decided they didn't value those guys as much and underestimated what those guys could do. And I don't know if the New Day 100% represents that, but they could be close. Who knows what they could do now, right? And, you know, when they show up somewhere else, I'm sure they will, and I don't think it'll be TNA. Like, what happens? And then again, like, you know, if the same thing had happened, and when you think about it, like, it's hard to ever compare anything to what ended up being the Monday Night War, but like, it's the only thing we can compare it to. But like, when you think about AEW, and then you think of Jericho, Moxley, right? Like, even to a degree, Edge, all of them, like, that's just creating a foundation. What would be the tipping point that WWE says, yeah, you're not worth it as much, and we'd rather just absorb the loss than of you absorb your absence more than the loss, the perceived loss in your money, and then AEW takes that and says, well, we could really do something with this. And I don't know what that tipping point is, but I had that Roman story been true, I was really sitting here thinking, oh boy, like this could be the beginning of that slow burn if they're not careful. It
Imagine,
really could.
imagine at Double or Nothing that OTC music hits and he walks out there with the ones in the air to confront MJF.
Yeah, right,
Right? Like,
right,
just imagine. You can immediately
right.
put him back
And
with
they can't stop him from
Moxley.
using his Samoan dynasty.
No,
Like that storyline doesn't change because those guys were all over the place.
right.
That's not
That's what they
that's
did.
real
They
life.
before they travel after they traveled island to island, they went into the to our side of the states and did all that. And that's like
Right, right.
I don't know. I thought how much of it do you think he was aggravated that some of his family members got cut?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how close he is to any of those guys, but
I'm
uh,
I'm just saying, like in the past, there would usually be a conversation had with said big star before things happen. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
And I don't know. See, so my dad brought these questions up to me yesterday, and you know what I told him? If I was Hunter and TKO was really starting to piss me off, you know what I would do? Every SmackDown, I would give Cody the mic and have him start the show or end the show. And basically have him take a shot at Ari again and say, this is the best you got. With Pat McAfee, with Randy Orton, with the final boss. That's all you have up your sleeve. You make how much a year and you can't figure this out of how to get me out of this belt, to get me out of this business. That promo where Cody went, or you could fire me because that worked out so well for you the last time. That crowd was like it. Their jaws opened up, but then it was like that slow burn of like, did he actually say that? You know what I mean? Because it's been used against him so many times from the final boss, from Cena, from Roman, that he finally got the opportunity to say, all right, you guys want to keep throwing this in promos against me? Enjoy this. Like, he's just, it's insane. If, I don't know, man.
Yep.
And then, you know what? Before Backlash, because there's some more bullshit I kind of want to talk to you about. So, podcasts like ours, people that do people that do Instagram like reaction videos, YouTube reaction videos, those types of media things. John Cena is set to make a history making announcement at Backlash. Rumor has it has something to do with the WWE, what are they calling it? Fan club?
I think just WWE Club or
WWE
Club
club?
WWE.
Yeah.
I think it's Club WWE.
So, there's a rumor out there that all of a sudden, a week or two prior to WrestleMania weekend, and now after, a lot of these fans that have been doing reaction videos for the longest time are starting to get strikes against their content. And when they go to the platform chief and say, hey, can you tell me what's going on with these strikes? It's coming back that these strikes are specifically from WWE. So now it's looking like, is Cena going to come out there and say they're using Club WWE to, you know, say, hey, what's going on with this type thing? You know what I mean? Like, are they... Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, is that a thing being done now? Like, is that what we're doing? Like, are they gonna use Club WWE as a way to kind of like the post I sent you today, take out the internet wrestling community and kind of build their own silo community? Because to be honest, all that would take was them to fire Punk over a salary or Roman over a salary, and that would be the other 50% for me. You've seen how bad Reddit is now. Can you imagine what it's going to get to if that's what this Club WWE announcement is going to be? Like, this is the time.
Yeah.
Like, I was telling the old man, if I'm Tony Khan and I'm finding out that there's certain writers that are being let go because of based on what they're getting paid or whatever, I'm calling every writer that walks out of that door and says, listen, it's just me. I don't have a creative room. I'll pay you what you were making at WWE. Come help me establish a creative room. Because you got to think, a lot of these people that are writing for WWE, there's LinkedIn postings for them. They just want you to be in, like, the Jimmy Fallon show, or, you know, wrote for Saturday Night Live, or write for a podcast. Like, there's no prerequisite that you need to know wrestling to write wrestling. So he could easily throw a room together overnight and have them start building out storylines. And then he just be the person that approves or disapproves. AKA what Vince did for the whole Attitude Era. Right? Like, or if you're AEW, what's stopping you from reaching out to Brian Jarowitz and saying, hey, are you working on anything lately? The only thing that might stop him is he's part of 7 Bucks Productions.
Right.
So, with how aggravated this has seemed to make me with WWE, it's increased my excitement for AEW. And I am getting Double or Nothing this month. But like these are the opportunities where like Tony has to turn into a promoter and stop being the dirt sheet dude on Reddit. Right? Like, he has to like say, okay, this is what we're doing. Here on out, we're going through their throats. And if there's any opportunities, I'm letting anyone that is good on a mic take a shot at TKO. Find a way to throw in a TKO shot here or there once or twice a night. Just let that start firing over the build, right? Or Tony Khan can come out and Double or Nothing and say, you know, thanks for coming to the show. I just want you to know this is the start of a new day. Like, just make subtle references like that, right? Just like start just jabbing, because you know they're eventually going to bleed. If anything, we saw how bad it got with the UFC, to the point fighters were just tweeting their retirements on Twitter.
Right.
So everything was public. And the saddest part is, we probably wouldn't be here if Vince wasn't such a pervert.
Also true.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like, as much as I want him to come back to save this company, it's like, anyways. WWE has confirmed the following matches will air during the first hour of Backlash: Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker, Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker is the first hour of Backlash?
Exactly. Doing that again.
Then followed by Danhausen and TBA versus The Miz and Kit Wilson. Who do you think is Danhausen's partner?
I don't even know what they're gonna do with that. I mean, I have no idea. Like, you know, I mean, it'd be funny if it was Punk, but I don't think they'll do that with Punk. I don't think they're gonna bring
But
that in. Although that would be funny.
they did make the reference. He loves money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Um,
And then we got
I don't
Eels.
even know
Yeah.
who they're gonna do. Like, I mean, Cardona's hurt. It can't be him, right?
No.
Like, to bring him back because he kind of was going up against those two idiots. I don't know.
Well, and didn't Chelsea Green have heart surgery?
Yeah,
Yeah.
too dead. Yeah,
Yeah. So he's probably staying with her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
well, he's hurt anyway, right? Like he tore his bicep, didn't he?
Oh, he did?
Or his pec.
Again?
I thought he got hurt. I thought that was the whole thing.
I thought the wrist thing that they were saying that Orton did was actually hurt. And it wasn't from
Oh no, I'm wrong.
head injury a month ago,
An
but
injury a month ago. Yeah, no, sorry. So that's
oh no, that's fine. He
oh
just
yeah,
spent
broken wrist on SmackDown. Ruled
yeah,
out indefinitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um
So I don't think he'd be back anyway. But
no, he was
I just
Hasbro
think
shopping today on his
gross
channel.
still.
He was Hasbro shopping, so his arm still works to swipe the credit card.
Yeah, you know,
But
that's easy.
Io Sky versus Asuka, which we should have got this at WrestleMania. This is downright fucking stupid that it's on Backlash. And Jacob versus Roman. I guess you're taking Braun,
Yes,
Trick or Seth, or Trick or Sammy.
trick again.
Yeah, I think so, and hopefully this is dead and buried then. Danhausen and the partner versus Miz and Kit.
Yeah, Danhausen and whomever.
Io versus Asuka.
Io.
Roman versus
That's going to be a tight
Jacob.
one. That's tough, but I think Io.
Yeah. Roman versus Jacob.
I think it's going to be Roman. I don't think they're going to put it on Jacob right now, but
No. So yeah, we agree. Out of 5 stars, what are you thinking for this?
they'll be lucky if they hit 3.5.
I was. You're a better human than I am. You're a better human because I was saying 2.5.
Yeah, I was about to say 3, but Roman Jacob could be really good.
Yes, and I think Io and Asuka is probably, if not the best match on the card, the second best match on the card. And Danhausen's comical stuff could bump it up to a 3.
Yeah, well, that'll be depending on what they do. That'll be fun.
And
Seth Rollins should be good. It's just weird.
I already hate it that it's at the beginning of the show. I already don't care that it's happening. Like, just give me Oba again.
They're gonna have to really overperform to get you back.
Right. So what are they gonna get? 25 minutes on the opening card? Right? Because their interest probably go be 10, 15 minutes combined, then 20 minutes in that match because they're gonna have 2 on that card. Like, that's not long enough.
Right.
I don't know, man. it feels very ass backwards. And of course, I'm a week and a half behind in AEW, so I really don't have anything to say on that. But um, yeah. I mean, how are you feeling overall with all this?
Well, I mean, it's the slow season for sure, and then the stuff with TKO is just really weird. So hopefully it doesn't screw things up. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's a little blah right now. But I expected it to be a little bit of a slowdown, but it's just really blah.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Um, it's interesting for sure. I had some fears going on now with what's happening here, and I don't know if they're ever going to be able to fix them. And that's the concerning part to all of this, because we wouldn't you say that a lot of the stuff TKO has did to UFC has kind of caused them to fall off the face of the earth? Besides Dana White smacking and choking his wife in public and there being no repercussion.
Right.
So to end the show, did you want to finish this?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Why not?
So let's go back over for the first main event. You had 1, 2, 6, 5. We pretty much had that the same for that and the spectacle and chaos. 1, 2, 6, 5. Work rate classics. We had the same thing of 1, 2, 3, 5. And women's and modern era, we had the same thing of 1, 7, 3, 4. So back to the main event legends, it would technically be 6 versus 5 and 1 versus 2.
Okay.
Who do you have, Dan?
Hold on. In main event legends, 6 versus 5. Don't like those John Cena. Ugh.
Yeah, this is where it sucks.
I'm gonna go Brett Sean.
So you're taking 5 out of that one? Okay. And
Yeah.
1 versus 2?
Rock Austin.
I agree with that one. I I'm giving a slight edge to Cena versus Rock because I think that's what solidified Cena on the Mount Rushmore. Just the way that they didn't hold back at each other on Twitter, took shots at each other all the time. The text message promo or the written on my wrist promo, I just gave a new edge to Cena that he could pull it out at any time. I get the importance of Brett versus Shaw in the Iron Man match, but just something about that Cena versus Rock, I go back and watch that documentary all the time when I cannot sleep. It's just something about it that I'm hooked on. So then, for yours, 2 versus 5 and 2 versus 6.
Sorry, wait, which one?
So for yours, that would leave to for the winner of your bracket,
Oh,
2 versus 5.
2 versus 5. Yeah, I'm still sticking with Brett Sean actually.
All right, solid, solid. I gotta go Cena Rock probably out of that one. So yeah, I mean, not bad. Spectacle and Chaos, you had 1 and 2, and then 6 and 5.
6 and 5. Brock Roman versus Money in the Bank. Um,
Yeah, and you had
I'm gonna
TLC
go
1.
Brock.
Okay, you're gonna go Brock Roman for that one.
Yeah, and then TLC one for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think we're both on the same page here. Are you going TLC won then for the winner? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you have to.
yeah.
Just what it meant. Um, Work rate classics. We both had 1 versus 2 and 3 versus 5.
3 versus 5. I'm gonna go Seth Rollins and Cody.
Yeah,
1 versus 2 for me is gonna be Brett
yeah,
and Stone Cold,
agreed.
and then yeah, and then Stone Cold. Brett's got to take it there.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give that to you. I agree. And then once, so this will be 1 versus 7 and 3 versus 4 for the women's evolution and modern era.
On 1 versus 7, I'll go. I'll go Becky, Charlotte, Ronda. And then what was it? 3 versus what?
4.
Yeah, Charlotte, Becky, Sasha.
And then out of that,
Charlotte, Becky, Sasha. Out of that one, so number 4 all the way there.
I agree. Yeah, I think we're on par there. Um, the weird part is, I don't know if you hear Charlotte. She always makes this comment that they would have never main evented if it wasn't for Ronda. I think the
I
Charlotte,
believe that. I believe that.
right. I think the Charlotte Becky Sasha is twice as big as the Becky versus Charlotte versus Ronda.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why she keeps doing that. So not bad. So you had 5 winning the first one winning the second one, and 4. Solid choices. We finally finished it. Um,
Yeah.
what should we do next? What should we do next, Dan? We need to do a bracket. Should we do a big man bracket? The best big man of all time?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That'll be good,
All right.
actually.
All right. So uh, I'll have 2 weeks to prepare that since
Yeah, that's a good one.
I have now been partitioned with coaching duty, so I might need a little extra time to put it together. But big man bracket. Are there any Are there any borderline wrestlers that you'd say would not qualify as a big man that you can think of? Like, are you thinking Ryback as a big man? No.
No, no. I'm thinking right? Like I think Big Man, and I'm thinking obviously Taker and Kane and Big Show.
Do you put
I'm thinking, I'm
Andre?
thinking Yokozuna,
Do you put Andre in there,
Andre.
even though he's
Yeah,
probably the hands-on favorite to win it?
yeah. I think you have to
Okay.
because look, without trying to go too deep into this, I think yeah, he's a favorite as a big man, but also he was super limited in what he could do.
Yeah.
So there's notoriety, nostalgia, and being like the first true giant, but which helps him. But you got guys that to do a lot. Look at what Oma does.
Yep. Yeah, it's something, man.
Yeah.
It is something. Um, while we end this, I wanted to hear your thoughts because you know how I feel about Hulkamania over the years. Um, what were your thoughts on the documentary?
Um. I mean, look, I didn't. It was weird. I thought it was a little weird because there were parts of it that I was like, "Is this is this a little bit of a hit piece? Is this a little bit of a like what is this?" It was hard to tell what this was at first. to me at least, like because it just was going back and forth, and there was a lot of focus on a lot of the bad stuff and less focus on like his true beginning and like that story. I guess that story has been told before, but they rushed through how he got to where he was, and then a lot of it was just focus on his divorces and his falling out of grace with companies, and then the racist stuff, and then the sex tape stuff, and I don't know, it was just tough, like
Did you know
weird.
he had a brother?
No,
I didn't either.
no, I
And
didn't know the story. I mean, maybe I knew he had a brother. I had no clue the story of the brother. No clue the story of the brother.
yeah,
Yeah, it was very weird. It was very weird.
it definitely felt like when the person becomes the character, but they don't realize that they're not the character,
Right,
right?
right.
Because he kept referring to himself. Like it took time for me to realize like Hulk's the guy in the ring and Terry's the guy out of the ring.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's and they didn't really go into detail of like all the curiosities around what actually happened, did they?
No, not really. I mean, obviously, there was like one line, and I don't remember if it was the wife or Nick who finally said, like, right? I think it was the wife. She was like, I wish we had never done that last surgery because it never, like, he never really came out from that. Right. Like, that was the most we got out of it,
Right,
of what was really going on. That he never truly recovered from that last surgery, which we kind of knew and they were just lying about. Right.
right.
So,
Yeah, yeah. I'll probably go back and watch it again just because like I'm curious. Like I'm sure there's some things that I missed, but like
yeah.
um, I don't know, man. I don't. It was weird. It was weird. Like I'm glad they do it. Did you watch? Did you see that they put a new Shawn Michaels documentary on Peacock, even though they took everything off of Peacock?
I didn't see that. I'll have to watch it. Yeah.
That came out a couple weeks ago. I didn't get to watch it, but it's next on my list. But yeah, so that's that. A lot of chaos this week. The internet is definitely divided on Vince McMahon right now, just due to all the pay cuts and everything going on. I guess that's the wrestling world, right, Dan? Um,
There is.
so we'll have to see how it goes and go from there. Watch AEW. It's probably going to be good. Double or Nothing should always be good. I don't think I remember one bad Double or Nothing. Have you?
No,
The
no.
only problem with that we talked about,
That's usually their best show.
and we've talked about this, right? Like it's Double or Nothing will be good, and then Wednesday night would be crap again.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Right.
Yeah, it's like that's it. So hopefully we could see some consistency and they start scaring TKO a little bit. But um, what do you think, Dan? 2 weeks again? Do it on 2 weeks to catch up on everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes
2 weeks
sense.
to catch up on anything, catch up on AEW, and to let me build this big man bracket because hopefully Andre the Giant doesn't win it. But until then, this
I don't
pod.
think he will. Spoiler alert. I don't think he will, but we'll
Well,
see.
based on The Undertaker's recent comments, he's back in my good graces. So, 2 weeks from now, we'll
Yeah.
be back. This will be up tomorrow evening, usually around 5 p.m. Take a listen. Please, any comments you have, we appreciate it. We'll follow back. And use our WWE shop code, which is up on our Twitter, as we are an affiliate somehow, some way. I'm pretty sure that's going to get taken away. But until it does, we'll still be having a shop code. So thanks for tuning in. Adios, folks. Have a good night.